Georgia percent chances to make the playoffs.
You are Locked On Bulldogs, your daily podcast on the Georgia Bulldogs. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Locked On Bulldogs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every single day. I am Clint. Daniel is coming. He's on his way. Today, we are talking about three things. One, what are the chances Georgia makes the playoffs? 1 loss, 2 loss, 3 losses. Secondly, what has us excited by the numbers as we look at this Georgia team, offensively and defensively, what we're excited about. And then lastly, what hope should you have for this Georgia team as we continue to go down this playoff run? We talked about it last episode, that the chances we get into the playoffs are very high right now. 1-loss team, if we win out, it's a for sure thing. And the chances that we go ahead and get into the SEC championship, very high, depending on what happens to Texas against A&M, depending on what happened to Alabama, who's not out of the woods on a pretty dang good schedule that they have going for them right now. It's going to become tough because, this just in, Iron Bowl has an interim coach and a team that hates them. It's wild what's happening over there at Auburn. No one really cares. We're not afraid of that, and we don't really mind the fact that you're hurting for that. But let's start here. Let's start with Georgia's remaining schedule. We talked about this last time, but I want to talk about it again because by the numbers are crucial and crucial and crucial. Barring an absolute disaster Charlotte game, which I just cannot fathom. Now what Kirby Smart has done, Austin Peay and the previous schedule was a little difficult, but I don't think that's the case now. I think Charlotte takes care of it. I think Mississippi State, as much as I want to say cardiac dogs, continue to give us ulcers and heartburn. I think Mississippi State is a win as well. If we look at the percentage chance that Georgia has to make the college football playoff, right now it's 82, 86%. I mean, to have Georgia miss the playoff right now would be almost, if they win out, would be almost ludicrous. It would mean that there are so many other teams that did business, took care of business, won out the rest of their games. The math isn't mathing on it. I just don't see it happening where Georgia wins out and doesn't get in, even with an SEC championship loss. Still going to be the case. I mean, head to head, we got Alabama, and that's it. We took care of everyone else, barring Texas. But let's talk about the percentage chance that goes to 2 losses. Let's say we take one to Texas or to Georgia Tech. That number goes down to 73, 72, 74%, somewhere in that range. 72 to 40, 74% is where we land with our percent chance to make the playoffs. And this is crucial because it goes back to what we've been saying all year long with the Georgia team. Getting hot at the right moments. Well, let's check on the temperature scale. Right now, early season, we saw Nate Frazier take off, and then we saw Nate Frazier take a step back. We saw Chauncey Bowens comes on strong. We see him continue to do so. We saw McCray come on strong. We've continued to see that. We didn't see him get a carry last game. What we saw was running backs continue to be a strength of this team. Not worried about that. Gunnar Stockton, let's talk about what he brings to the table. We saw him early on go ahead and catapult himself into the Heisman conversation, that Ole Miss win and the comeback. Tennessee, Ole Miss, Auburn, all on the shoulders of Gunnar Stockton, what he was able to do. He's crescendoing. Last week had a step back. I think the rivalry game, I think the cocktail party, I think the juice of that defensive line coming at him did do some things. We wound up winning. We wound up taking care of it. But I think the running game and Gunnar Stockton are continuing to do well. Let's talk about the crescendo effect of this defense. Because I think by the numbers, it's really, really crucial to look back and see comparatively where Georgia ranks compared to all the rest of the SEC. Now, I'm going to take pressure rate and sack rate out the window. Kirby Smart himself has said sack rate is not what he looks for. He looks for chaos plays. That's what he calls them. Because if you look at what teams do, even you talk to the other people, the insiders, the gurus, everybody else, going ahead and getting a sack, Georgia having sacks, we've been there before, but it's not a statistic that Kirby emphasizes. He emphasizes disruption and getting the ball out, because when you get the ball out, it is a drive killer with a sack, but turnover-worthy plays are there. So I'm going to take that out because at times it's a little It's just not that accurate about pressure. Now, one that is accurate, tackles for loss. I think this is a big play because those are just make the play when you can. Sacks, you can say, hey, maybe the running back was running and they consider it a tackle for loss. That's where I come into play. Okay, pressure rate. But if you look at tackles for loss, Georgia's not doing so hot in that category. They're not doing hot in the category of tackles for loss. They're not doing it hot in the category of sacks. What they are doing hot in is stop you. That's not a statistic. I understand. We're going to get to in the second segment how this team can improve to improve their chances against Texas and Georgia Tech and get into the college football playoff, and then how to go ahead and make something happen once they get there. That we're going to get to. But here's how to improve defensively. We are stout against the run. Florida actually had. This is bizarre to me. Baugh had a pretty good day running. I think it was like 4.8, 4.9 yards per carry by the numbers there. That's high, again, for Georgia standards. Another team, we've held Jam Miller, which Alabama wasn't that good, isn't that good of a running team. Okay, Georgia Tech, very good running team. Texas, Wisner's a pretty dang good back, and they got a pretty okay offensive line. Not a great one, okay one. But I think what I saw improvement of and where we continue to see is this third down efficiency, 18%. Florida had 18% conversion rate on third down. Now you're going to say to me, Clint, it was Florida. It was DJ Lagway. It was a first-time play caller since, I think, Alabama A&M, not the A&M you think of when you hear A&M. Yeah, but Florida statistically, all season long, 17% third down conversion rate. So when you are a team that's away from home, that's what they were away from home. Away from home, they were 17% conversion rate. At home, it's something like 38, 40% third down conversion rate. So neutral site, still in the state, 18% is on par with the other teams that Florida has played. And the reason I bring this up, the reason I think it is important and vital for you to understand is this, is because Georgia statistically, keeping on par with the rest of the SEC, is markedly improved compared to what it was. What it was and what we can see of this Georgia team is steady improvements with younger guys, Ogboku being one of them, Big Joe being another one of them. Again, off the edge, we saw, I'm going to say, market improvement off the edge, where I am very happy, very, very happy to see that push against the tackles and collapsing the pocket against Florida. So you might not think that we're elite, and we're not defensively. But statistically speaking, against Florida, a lesser opponent, not an incredible offense, but honestly, an offense that has put up points, 24 points, 22 points, somewhere in that realm on average. Georgia held them to fewer points than their average, fewer third down conversion rate, neutral site field, 17% in the same state. I'll take that as right there on par. And DJ Lagway had a couple of QB sneaks, a couple of draws, a couple of times. But outside of that, really, really held him in. We're going to come back after this. I'm going to let you know the second statistic that I'm really excited for and that should get you excited about this Georgia team. But first, I want to do these. And these are, in fact, FanDuel. FanDuel's fantastic. FanDuel, get in the action right now because FanDuel is giving our listeners money for betting on games. It's pretty incredible what FanDuel is doing. NBA is back. Even if you missed the start of the game, want to ride the hot hand, FanDuel has live bets on everything from who will score next in the fourth or live game, same game parlays. Keeps everything exciting. Right now, FanDuel is giving new customers $300 in bonus bets when you place your first $5 bet and you win. So head over to FanDuel.com, sign up, and play your game with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA. I told you he was coming, y'all. I told you he was coming. And look,
you started without me.
I did. It's fact, Daniel. Look, some things just I was too excited to talk about the numbers that Georgia had.
He wanted to get into it, folks.
I had to get into it. Because look, I know that if you all of a sudden all the words are taken, Daniel, just the time eviscerates. Daniel, I talked about in the first segment.
Yeah.
Florida being third down conversion rate 18%, against Georgia. And their statistical category all year away from the swamp is 17%. So we were well within means of that 17, 18% on third down. Fourth down, 0 for 2 on short yardage. Even talked about how we held them on average below their season total with a improved play caller, and that was universally recognized across the board. Florida had a universally better play caller than Billy Napier. That's what cost him his job. DJ Lagway, Baugh are talented people. We held them under their season average, third down, fourth down stop. I was talking about how incredible that was, how excited I was for that.
Yeah.
Daniel, that's where I want to start defensively, give people hope. I also started statistically talking about our chances to make the college football playoffs with 2 losses, 74% with 2 losses. 3 losses is where I want to start and give maybe people some other numbers. 3 losses, you are less than 40%. I mean, to get 3 losses,
we ain't going with 3 losses.
Okay, great. People give us chances. There's 0 chance.
Ain't gonna happen.
Okay, I'm glad we all understand that. The people needed to hear it. Daniel, what as you look and think about this Georgia team, are there any numbers that come to mind that are crucial for you?
Well, I'm matriculating over to Mississippi State. May I speak about Mississippi State, Clint? Because Georgia got a big nooner coming up on Saturday on the road in the Cowbells at Mississippi State. Sleepy kickoff.
Sure.
I'm here to tell you the remedy for a sleepy kickoff.
Go ahead, tell the people.
My number is 87. Mississippi State is the 87th ranked rushing defense in terms of yards per attempt allowed in the country. For some reference,
go ahead.
That is 7 spots worse than their in-state rival Ole Miss's rush defense in terms of yards per attempt allowed. And I don't know if you remember, but Georgia was able to move the ball fairly well and fairly easily against Ole Miss. I expect Georgia to have a nice showing on the ground. I expect this offensive line to have a nice showing on the ground. I expect Georgia to be able to move the ball, control the clock, shorten the game. I ain't laying any number of points in this game. Kirby just trying to get in, get out with a win. That's all we trying to do, Clint. So 87th ranked rushing defense. The way Nate Frazier's running it, the way that Chauncey Bowens is running it, the way that this offensive line is coming together, particularly in the interior, as we talked about on the show already this week, it looks like a very favorable matchup for Georgia, particularly on the offensive side of the ball, particularly with the way that Georgia's going to want to play this game, Clint. It just feels a lot like a game that Georgia's going to want to shorten, and they're going to have the ability to have success doing that. And when you have success doing that, that means extended drives. That means more first downs. That means fewer punts. That means more time off the clock, fewer possessions in total back and forth in the game. And I think if you're Georgia, that's exactly how you want to play it.
That's exactly right. This game, I think, look for a gunner special, not throwing the ball, but running the ball. We saw it late in the game against Florida. They kneel down. By the way, Gunnar Stockton quietly amassing himself a number of just meme-worthy photos.
Yes, sir. When you take a knee on the 1-inch line, I don't care if you're a bettor. I don't care how you bet this game. When you take a knee on the 1-inch line, you absolutely that's like throwing the bird at your opponent. It is the anti-Steve Spurrier play. It's the we don't need style points play.
Don't care.
All we care about is stealing your soul from you. And that is absolutely what Gunnar Stockton does.
100%. We got the Superman dive into the end zone against Auburn. We got the kneel down. By the way, on that kneel down, during the game, I saw this. We didn't talk about it enough. The absolute flex Gunnar Stockton had. But what about the absolute flex of Oscar Delp lead blocking on that? Ooh. Turning around, watching, knowing Gunnar Stockton is going to break the first tackle. So he doesn't come back. He instead goes second level. And as he walls off the defender, he takes a knee before Gunnar does.
Yeah.
He says,
let's take a knee together.
Let's
we'll
do it together.
all just, it'll be fun.
This Mississippi State game, this just in as well.
Mm-hmm.
They suck stopping the run.
Yeah.
They ain't Old Miss passing attack offensively. I'll state the obvious. I'll state what, if you are struggling with this one, sorry for you to struggle, but they're not the same team. So if you got a team that's lesser offensively, lesser passing, we're going to evaporate the clock.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to suck the wind out of a stupid stadium and a stupid tradition and a stupid fan base by just running the rock and lining up with Juan Gaston, Michael Morris, Bobo. I couldn't agree more with you, Daniel. And I think this is going what Gunnar did at the end of the game against Florida, keeping the ball because we were hammering him inside of every single play. And you and I were even talking, keep the ball one time, Gunnar. Just keep it one time.
One time, yep.
Well, how about
he did it?
Keep it one time.
No, he went ahead and did
to
it.
Seal the win. So I don't hate that at all. I think you're right. Over under touches for Nate Frazier in this game.
Over under touches for Nate Frazier in the first quarter, I'd put the line at like 10.5 in the first quarter in the game. Right?
Well, that answers my question.
Yeah. It's gonna be early and often. Yeah. I think you're gonna see a healthy dose of this running attack because again, there's no need. There's no need for Georgia to try to come in and get cute with this. We should be able to gain 4.5 to 5 yards per carry consistently against Mississippi State. We know that Mike Bobo's got creativity in the run game. We know that he's going to get Dylan Bell involved. We know that those perimeter screens are just an extension of the run game. We know that he's going to rotate in multiple backs. We know that there's going to be more and more packages for Dwight Phillips because you saw coming off a bye week, Dwight Phillips more involved in the offense. That's not that isn't a coincidence. There's as we progress in the season, this coaching staff clearly has things that they like that he can do. You're going to continue to see that more and more. I think you're going to see a heavy dose of it, and I think that's a recipe for Georgia to get a win on Saturday. We got more that we're going to discuss, more numbers that we want to get out, but first, these.
And these are, in fact, Game Time. Head over to Game Time right now. Football season's back, of course. Let's get real. Getting tickets feels like a battleground. The game itself. Endless queues, hidden fees, jumping in checkout for prices. It's ridiculous. So Daniel and I use Game Time, the app that gives the advantage back to the fans. What you see is what you pay. It's very simple. App makes buying tickets very, very simple. Even see the exact view from your seat before you buy. Take the guesswork out of buying college football tickets at Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONCollege, $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, that's promo code LOCKEDONCollege, $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download Game Time today. Daniel, we got the running attack. We got the defense holding steady against Florida. And what the point was is not that, hey, we're an elite defense, but rather we're on par with the rest of Florida's opponents, which many of them SEC opponents. Meaning, I'll take an average SEC defense for Georgia now.
Imagine saying that coming into the season. Imagine one time saying the words, I'll take an average SEC defense. But if I may.
You may.
I know that we saw some struggles from Gunnar Stockton on Saturday. Georgia may have an average SEC defense, Clint. They do not have an average SEC offense. Okay? I want to talk. I want to go back. I want to give you another number, Clint. The number is 5.
Okay.
The number 5 represents Georgia's ranking in offensive possession efficiency.
Okay, here we go.
Which is the scoring value per possession. So the amount of scoring that you do per time that you have the ball. That is the ultimate. So you could look at efficiency in terms of a play-by-play.
Sure.
Like, do you gain, 4 yards on first down? Do you get to third and manageable? Do you convert first downs on every third down? That's like success rate. That's efficiency in terms of a play-by-play basis. But if you look at possession-by-possession basis, efficiency would be not punting, not turning the ball over, not having possessions that end with zeros. How many points do you score when you have the ball? Georgia is 5th nationally in that category. 5th of all the offenses in all of college football nationally in unadjusted scoring value per possession. Now, Georgia's defense is 69th nationally in possession efficiency, meaning
it's not great. Let me just start there.
It's not great. But Georgia's offense is not good, not great, but elite in terms of their ability to generate points on offense. You look at a very similar statistic, points per drive. Georgia ranks 7th nationally.
Here we go.
All of these metrics, these efficiency categories, Georgia's not the most explosive offense in the country, but they don't turn the ball over, and they generally finish drives with points. You saw it against Ole Miss. Every non-kneel down drive finished with points in the game. You also saw it against Florida. Georgia had a little stretch. They've had these stretches before. They had 3-4 possessions in a row where they didn't really generate anything. One of them, Drew Bobo snapped the ball over Gunnar Stockton's head, and the possession was basically over before it even started. But down the stretch, Georgia's able to generate points. They're able to string first downs together. They are able to score. This offense, they're not carrying the defense entirely in this season, but when you look at the overall performance of the team, this offense playing out of its mind.
Yes, Daniel, out of its mind. Typically, you can have a passing attack or a rushing attack. You can get with this or you can get with that.
Sure.
Mike Bobo said, no.
Two things can be true at the same time.
There it is. And top 20 points per game, top 15 in total yards per game, top 25 in both rushing and passing attack offensively. Yeah, you don't see that sort of absolute balance and dominance that, again, a defense can come in and say, I'm going to take away something. Go ahead. Take away whatever you want. We're still going to win. We're still going to be fine. We're still going to go ahead and take away or take your best punch and be okay. Not just okay, but excel against you. So these stats are great in Georgia's favor. I'm going to jump to something that I think people forget. And this isn't a statement of years gone by, because I think before, if basically you just had a top 5 roster, you were one of the top 4 teams, college football playoff, and one of them win. That has gone away. Now top 12 is more like the top 5 in class rankings because of the equality that has hit the board on that. However, when you look at Georgia's roster, this is the first full cycle that's happened. And I keep on saying this for the young guys. I keep on saying this for Kirby picking people up like Okboku. Like, no one thought that cat was going to be starting in the SEC on a defensive line, and he soon could be. For Georgia, a playoff national championship contending team. Of all the roster management, Georgia is top 3 in roster talent. That's why we're seeing a little variation spike in talent and performance on defense. Offense has been there. We're seeing the offensive line come together. Gunnar Stockton and wide receivers have been on point all year long. But guys, this last half of the season, this last quarter of the season coming up here with 4 games left, top 3 in roster talent. That starts paying dividends. The longer you play, the more reps you get, the more times you hear Kirby coaching you. And once it hits, this is a weird thing about football, unless you're Ryan Williams, and then you have one good year and then you suck.
Yeah, you have one good game.
Yeah, sorry.
And then you stop. That's it. It was against us.
It was against us. Yeah. Heck of a time to play your best game.
Sure.
With that many 4- and 5-star guys, with that much roster development, top 5. When it hits, when Ellis Robinson finally gets it figured out, guys, it typically stays. Okay. It typically doesn't just go away. Not Kirby Smart hasn't seen guys that have crescendo, have hit that climactic and then come crashing down. That doesn't typically happen. As a matter of fact, they kind of on ramp and then jump out of Georgia to the NFL playing their best football. It's a steady climb of development. Once that clicks, oh boy, talent's there, roster's there, snap count is there and important, Daniel.
Yeah. And we said this early in the season. Not every team in college football is going to get better and better and better as the season goes on. That's not how college football works. I mean, see Florida. They just lost the Super Bowl. This team will now begin to crumble, right? Like that's what's going to happen. Not because Billy Gonzalez is a bad coach or because the Florida players are particularly deficient, even though the Florida players that tried to pick a fight with Micah Morris at the end of the game, again, thank you for reminding us of who you are. That's all we needed to see. It's because that's the way that college football works. Not every team is going to continue to get better, but Kirby preaches development. He preaches competition in practice. He preaches we're going to continue to improve. We're going to continue to get better week in and week out because we need to develop these guys who are running with the 2s, running with the 3s, running with the 4s. Where was Ogboko on this depth chart when the season started, Clint? I mean, you want to talk about a guy that was buried on the depth chart. Well, what's happened in the last 8 weeks? Did the coaching staff get it wrong in the preseason by not playing him week 1 so much? No, it's the fact that he's had now 10 weeks with 2 bye weeks. He's had 10 weeks of development, of repping with the scout team, of repping with the 2s, of repping with the 3s. He's had week after week after week to get better and better and better. That pays dividends later in the year. Georgia is still ascending as a program. And it's a darn good thing because they're not good enough right now to win a national championship. We're skating by against average to below average teams. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. But we are 7-1. We are on a path to the playoff, as we discussed in on one of our episodes yesterday. By the way, if you're only looking for one episode a day, there sometimes your boys like to drop a couple. And so just peep the feed. There might have been a Monday episode that you missed, but Georgia's got a clear path to the playoff. And they're continuing to get better, Clint, which is only going to continue to pay dividends as we move throughout the season. He is Clint, the guy that just can't wait to host this podcast. I am Daniel, the guy that shows up whenever he feels like it. And together, we are the Locked On Bulldogs podcast, your team every day. And we will be back tomorrow. We're talking more numbers. We're talking more. Listen, I saw another metric, Clint, as you were talking, that I literally cannot believe in terms of how good this offense is. And I'm going to drop that little nugget on you tomorrow when we reconvene. Maybe you'll start without me. Maybe you'll wait for me this time. Who's to say? Time will tell. Until then, we will see you guys next time.
See ya.